So we have started the opening passage of Narada's arrival, 83 lines, starting from In Silent Bounds. I had given you some little background for this passage already last time, and what we see here is a very rapid sweep of the entire history of creation. Indirectly, he is presenting the entire history of creation in a short span of just about 80 lines. And the lyricism is so enchanting that we don't know how swiftly the whole movement is going on, as if it is happening in our presence straight away. The entire history of the creation is recreated in a swift manner here. See. First, of course, Narad is coming from silent bounds. Silent bounds. Bounds means a region, a territory, a country, a realm. So it is from some realm bordering on the mortal's plane, very close to the mortal's plane. It is definitely not in the mortal, it is in the immortal world, but it is from that region he is coming. And he is, of course, so if you see the sequence, the geography of the whole place, we have basically first the silent bounds, then we have expanse of brilliant peace. After silent bounds, the expanse of brilliant peace. Then, of course, is coming from paradise. Paradise. Now, this paradise here, in the context of Narad, and what we have here little later, Vishnu, this paradise is the home, the place of Vishnu, that is Vaikuntha. In our terminology, it is the Vaikuntha. It is from that region he is coming. And he is coming how? Chanting to the large and lustrous air. He is coming down, chanting to the large and lustrous air. So, this is a region which is still beyond the mortal's plane. The large and lustrous air, paradise, brilliant peace, they are the qualities bordering on the silent bounds in that region, you see. And his attraction is the golden summer earth. Narad is a person who keeps on traveling in all the parts of the world, just for the joy of it, singing the name of Vishnu. He keeps on moving from place to place constantly. And one early morning, he takes his heart to go around, and he is seeing from above the golden summer earth. And he is attracted by the golden summer earth, and he kind of makes his course in the direction towards the earth. Now here there is a little problem in the sense that if Narad is moving around from place to place constantly as if aimlessly, just for the joy of moving, singing the name of Vishnu all the while, then is it a part of that movement, or there is some kind of a specificity of his coming to the earth? Does he want specifically to come to the earth for any purpose, or, well, for the joy of it, I just keep on roaming from place to place, and that's all. But here, the way in which it is put, there is a special attraction for the golden earth. Now, what that attraction is, that is not, of course, made very clear here. It is obviously not made specific here, but he does see some sort of attraction to the earth, and he makes his movement in the direction of the earth. Although this earth is full of full of toil and quest and grief and hope. This is what we are. Still, in spite of that, he is attracted. This summer earth, this golden earth is there, all right, but he feels kind of an attraction towards this earth in spite of the fact that it is a world of toil and quest and grief and hope. So, it means that this attraction is not just an attraction, it is a purposeful attraction. It is an intended attraction. It has some kind of an objective kind coming to the earth. And the attraction here would therefore mean that he must go to the earth in some context. The context is he must hasten to the earth and carry the word of fate and give it to Savitri in time. That is the main attraction, that is the main mission. He has come here on a mission basically. He has to deliver the word of fate and therefore he is coming here. Although he sees all this golden summer earth and whatnot, basically it is the context of a world of toil and quest and grief and hope to these rooms of seesaw game of death and life. Of death and life. That is the whole purpose of his. In fact, it looks very strange that this could be an attraction. This could be an attraction, you see. It cannot be an attraction, although it is a golden summer earth, you see. This cannot be an attraction. But the thing which is behind this is something which is important, which is significant, and which has got to be done. And therefore, it is in that sense, he has to come here. He has to come to the earth as well. And then, as we are saying, you see here, you see the beauty of the poetry also. To this room, to seesaw game of death and life. A very beautiful rhythm also. If you put it slightly differently, to this room, so a seesaw game of life and death. Poet is gone. It is no more that line, you see, death and life. It is that which gives real force, real meaning, content to the whole piece here, you see. In other words, from a metaphysical point of view, from a certain spiritual angle also, what is really emphasized here is more of death than life. And that is the attraction for him in the context of death than life. You see. That is the context of it. You see. Death and life. It is death which is carrying life forward. There is a struggle between the two, between life and a seesaw game constantly going on here. And it is in the context of this problem of death and life, he must hasten. Or in other words, the problem of death and life is the problem which is connected with Savitri's work. That is the whole basis of our thing, life, Savitri's work. Why death and life? Savitri has discovered love. She has found love. But she must also discover death in life. The meaning, the purpose, why it is there at all, that she must know. And therefore death and life. So it is something connected with that. He has to do something. And then of course we have seen last time across the next geographical region is the border of soul space. He is now entering into the mortal world. Border of soul space. That is the world soul. He is entering into the region of world soul. And he passed from mind into material things. He is coming, world soul, mental, spiritual, then into gross physical material things. He is coming through various regions like that down below. And what does he see here? That it is this material thing, this world which is here around, is the work of the inconscient self and the somnambulist force. The inconscient self and the somnambulist force. It is the counterpart of Sat and Chit in the darkness here. Sat and Chit, being in the inconscient world, that is self. Somnambulist, she is sleepwalking. She does not know what she is doing, the force. But it is because of her things have started happening here. Whatever creation has come out here so far is because of this force. Although she is blind, she is walking in the sleep, she is not aware of anything. That Prakriti, that force, that Shakti is still carrying on some kind of a work which has been, so to say, assigned to her by the inconscient self. It is the inconscient self who is supporting her work, who is pushing her also forward, and she is carrying out this work. Work of course, evolution. And the whole thing has now come up to the point of the mental being. So that is what Narad is saying here. Across, he passed from mind to the material thing, amid the invention to the inconscient self, and the workings of a blind, somnambulist force. And then as he is coming down, he is passing through different grades of matter. Narad is passing through different grades of material things. He is passing through different grades of matter. As I said last time, that we have essentially here, first is the etheric sea, then the primal air, then the creative fire, then the sap of life, sap of death, and then of course we have got subtle matter, gross physical matter. It is through these regions Narad is passing now. In other words, the purpose or description of these 5 elements of material state is that Narad, the spiritual being, his body, the spiritual body, has to take a gross physical body. How the spiritual body becomes the gross physical body is achieved by him through the process of the Sankhya materialization. By the process of Sankhya materialization, the subtle, the gross, the spiritual becomes here the gross material, you see. So, therefore we have got here a rapid, we have seen this last time, so I'll just quickly run through them. We have, of course, here first the etheric sea, that is Akash, then air, that is Vayu, then we have got creative fire, that is Tejas or Agni, that is the third element, and Agni in 3 states, triple power. As I said last time, the triple power is Saura Agni, Vidyuta Agni, and Jala Agni. So these 3 forms of Agni, it is through that region he is passing. And what does Agni do? What does fire do? What does Tejas do? It gives a concreteness to any spiritual thing. The form, Agni is the creator of form. Agni is the builder of form. Agni will be tomorrow the agent to bring about physical transformation. It is Agni's domain that physical transformation will be carried out. What you would call, in fact, in one of her talks, the mother says, when she saw one of her attendants, Rijuta, in a room serving her, the moment she saw her, she said, "Oh, now I know that it is the psychic being which will materialize." She says it is the psychic being which will materialize. Psychic, that is the Agni within us. It is that which will materialize and take the new body, new form. It is that which will happen here. So, Agni is actually the builder of form. And his role is what has to be really worked out in the process of physical transformation. In fact, that was the mother's work all along. It is the psychic being which will materialize. The gods and other things, they will not materialize, they cannot, you see. It is this thing which has to materialize. And therefore, it is this triple power which has to now carry out all this work here. Narad is now passing to that thing. In the Vedas, there is a specific mention of Agni, Agni Twashtra. He is the creator of forms. and it is he who builds the material forms. All the physical properties which you see in the material world here, that is the work of Agni. See, you have got just chemicals. All of us are made of electrons, neutrons, protons. Everybody has the same electrons, neutrons and protons. But the way they are arranged, the way they are organized, the way they group into each other's formations and all that thing, it is that which gives rise to the material characteristics, the chemical properties. That is what they differ. Otherwise, everybody has in the entire universe is the same thing. Electrons, neutrons and protons. But the way in which they are arranged and organized, it is that which gives rise to property. So it is that arrangement of the elemental matter is the work of Agni. That is the work of Agni. Why this combination will give this property, why that combination will give that property? The same hydrogen and oxygen is available in every form, everywhere. But when it comes like hydrogen plus water, hydrogen plus oxygen as water, then water has a definite property. Has a definite property. Not only that, same matter, water itself, in the form of water it has certain property. As ice, it has another property. As steam, it has yet another property. Chemically, it is the same stuff all the way through, but the properties are different depending upon in what state they are. And that differentiation of property, though the chemical foundation is the same, is what is being done by Agni. Agni gives not only the form but also the quality, the property to the form it produces. And then of course he felt a sap of life, a sap of death. He is coming now from Tejas into the world of Apas, water. And then of course plunging and is into solid matter's dense communion, solid matter. He has now become the gross physical. So while he is coming down, Narada is passing from Akash, then Vayu, then Agni, then Apas. Now he has become the gross physical. He has undergone the entire transformation. Now he is physically coming into the palace hall with his instrument, with his everything. He is carrying the veena. The veena also has become material veena now. You see, it is no more that spiritual veena, you see. It has become a material instrument, and it is that which he is coming and entering into the palace. So while he is coming down, we have seen last time quickly. Well, there is a little more description here which is not explicitly mentioned here, but which is pertinent. We have basically what are called three sheets. Our body has three sheets. One is the causal, then the other one is the subtle, and the third is the gross. Causal Sharira, then subtle Sharira, and then the gross Sharira. Sharira means body, you see, basically. Now, the causal, the Sanskrit term for that is Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira. And the subtle is Sukshma Sharira. And the gross is Sthula. So, we have got basically Karana Sharira, then Sukshma Sharira, and then the Sthula Sharira. What we have here is the Sthula Sharira. Now, the causal Sharira or Deha or body is the body of the supermind itself. And when it comes down, it undergoes all those several transformations, transitions, and then it becomes the gross physical. So Narada is actually passing through this entire region of physical transition from his Karana Sharira to the gross physical Sharira while he is coming down here. And as I told you last time, this is a very difficult chemistry to make the spiritual into physical, and of course vice versa. And it is only Narada who could do that. He had that knowledge and he had that will to do it, and he had an intention to do that thing in a certain specific context. He wants to come here physically for a certain purpose, and that is what he is going to do here. And so while he is coming down now, we have here Well, basically, there are a lot of references in this book about the Sankhya process of materialization, how the subtle, even the causal becomes gross. There are a lot of descriptions in the ancient scriptures. The Vedas speak of that, the Upanishads speak of that thing in great detail. The Sankhya philosophy is based on that. The Gita also elaborates in considerable details about the five elements and how the five elements create the material world here, the purpose behind that thing you see. So it is that knowledge which is already present with Narad, and he is coming with that knowledge and with that mastery, not just knowledge like a textbook, but he is able to carry on that experiment and come out here in the physical form.